And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Korean StarCraft League, week number 6. I'm of course your host, Light VIP, and with me I'm soon to be joined by another lovely co-caster, soon TM soon, maybe around the semi-finals portion of the bracket. But before that, we are here with another lovely week of Korean StarCraft, and we have our first two amazing players. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself as this madman is teamless. It is a travesty that he's teamless. Definitely deserves to be picked up. It is the Korean Terran player, GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, we have the next generation of South Korean Zerg. Representing Team Abydos, it is Mondo. Bienvenidos, everyone. Good day, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. Oh, it's great to be back here, not just casting KSL, but casting it live. Again, last week we were unable to broadcast this as the event was happening. We had to do a replay cast instead, but it's great to be here casting it in person, no delay, none of that nonsense. Feels good, man. It feels good to be back. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves, because we have a pretty stacked tournament. As always, we got some heavy hitters. We got Dark, we got Hero, we got GuMiho, we got Cure, we got Ranger, we got Mondo. And plenty of other players as well. We're missing some of the heavier hitters. Specifically, we are missing Maru and Byun, some of the two big Terran players in South Korea. They were the two finalists last week. They meet in the finals quite often, but this Saturday, this weekend, they are unavailable, so they will not be terrorizing the finals with their TvZ shenanigans. Not this time. Not this time, Papi. So, yeah, instead we have a beautiful TvZ before us, and you gotta love that lovely, beautiful KSL logo. Shout out to the Korean community. Fun fact: this logo was not commissioned. Some people from the Korean scene, they actually made this themselves and offered it up to Dave Testa. Actually, 3 different logos. Like 3 or 4 different logos were offered to Dave and Chicken Man, and they did end up taking this one in the end. It looks amazing. It looks beautiful. Oh, shout out to the Korean team. Shout out to the community in general, of course. Without it, this event wouldn't be happening. And already, we see a little bit of a dance here with this Reaper just dancing with the Lings. Nothing too crazy. Mondo, he did go for a hatch gas pull. Is going for his 3rd base. Everything is looking normal, but he's up against anyone who is anything but normal. GuMiho, one of the more crazier unorthodox Terran players out there in the world. He's more than willing to play with mech, not just mech, but also just kind of weird variations of bio as well. Like, GuMiho can be very tricky to play against. He can be very kind of offbeat and off tempo as well. So yeah, this is going to be a really big challenge here for Mondo. But again, Mondo, he's still an up-and-coming player. He's been getting some good results here and there. He took down Nice a couple of weeks ago. He's been going toe-to-toe with Classic every now and then. But this is also why I wanted to cast him, because I haven't seen much of Mondo's ZVT. I haven't seen much of how he plays against the Terran players, so we're going to be getting a bit of a gauge here of that. Of course, GuMiho is still the favorite coming into this series, but I want to see, or I want to believe, that Mondo's hard work has been paying off, as he has been practicing quite heavily. He is, of course, a full-time student, so he can't, play StarCraft all the time, but when he isn't studying, when he isn't in exams, he is, of course, practicing as hard as he can. Of course, already on an amazing team, and behind this, we do have GuMiho going for a 3cc Banshee. Of course, prioritizing that 3rd CC, delaying the starport a little bit for a bit of a later Banshee instead. Cloak is not being researched, so we're not getting a big commitment into the Banshees. And the Hellions, oh, they're looking for a way in, and it looks like they will find one. The Queens, for a couple of seconds, left a little bit idle. There were Lings in position, but not enough to stop GuMiho. Again, GuMiho is more than willing to just sack his Hellions here for the potential of damage, and he is getting damage done. 6 drones going down. Soon to be more. The drones, they're lining up. Oh, and this is a devastating amount of damage already. 14 drones This is an inexcusable amount of damage, and unfortunately, this was just because Mondo was being a little bit greedy. He only made 4 lings, he didn't make any more lings behind it. He was relying on his queens to defend and hoping that his opponent wouldn't just run past them, and unfortunately, that's just the kind of player that GuMiho is. Doesn't matter if you have queens, doesn't matter if you have lings, he will run past anyway, and this is game-ending damage. 14 drones going down this early on is pretty unacceptable at this level of play, and because of that, Mondo is already going to be playing from behind. Oh, I don't want to say it's already over, but it was already going to be a tough game here for Mondo, and already this is going to be another kind of mountain to overcome here. I want to believe he has it in him, but he has to take some very efficient trades moving forward. He has to just get some, not just efficient trades, but some really good fights, just like some run buys, what have you. But GuMiho isn't done. With this 3cc Banshee opener, he has 2 Banshees headed across the map towards that third base, looking for some drone kills. 2 Banshees can one-shot workers, so damage will be done. How much, though, is the question. The queens are, for the most part, spreading creep here, relatively close to the third base, so yeah, they are going to be able to respond in time. They are spotted by that Overlord, and the queens have arrived. Okay, Banshee's not really doing too much, but oh, they will be able to delay the 4th. Yeah, Mondo has to respect that, has to pull back with his drone, doesn't want to force a cancel, doesn't want to lose resources, and force to take the triangular 3rd location as his 4th instead. At the same time, Hellions are headed in that direction. GuMiho back at home is playing Bio, not Mech, and this is what I mean. You know, GuMiho, he is a jack of all trades. He can play whatever he feels like, and it is going to be Bio this time. Does have 1-1 on the way. Hellions going to be clearing up all this creep, and this is going to be setting up for a later push here at the 4th base. Oh boy. Also, Mondo opting to go into Roaches, not Ling Bane. Interesting choice. This is something that we've seen a lot from Mondo. We saw it in this series against Dolan at the start of the year, where Mondo is willing to drone up to around 70, 72 drones, and then just make nothing but Roach Ravager and try to end the Terran player. But Mondo is still struggling to get up to that drone count, and GuMiho is already pushing. We have some Ravagers on the way, and they will help defensively, they will help deal with that tank, but there are so many Marines here, it's a numbers game. Mondo needs more time. Queens are brought for the Roach Ravager as well. GuMiho, upon scanning the army, actually respects it and pulls back. Interesting choice. Honestly, I feel like he could have broken this location, but it would have been a difficult push here. So GuMiho, he decides otherwise. He's going to be going for a double drop into the main instead. There are Overlords in position to scout, but if GuMiho hugs the wall, it's possible the Overlord isn't in position. Oh!
Your creep tumor's under attack.
Oh no, it is not in position. The drops barely do hug the edge of the wall. They do slip into the main base, unscattered, undetection. Mondo a little bit distracted by the Hellion run by. The double drop into the main is doing a lot of damage. Oh, the first queen is going to be focused down. A couple of drones are going to be going down as well. The army is able to reposition, and hey, we haven't lost too many workers, but workers nonetheless. Again, damage that Mondo can't really afford to sustain. Meanwhile, Banshees are looking to dive back in towards that linear 3rd. Boy, again, GuMiho is not really committing to a big push, but he's just been chipping away at the army. He hasn't really lost too much at all. Looking at the units loss tab, he lost 2 Marines in that drop, and that is it. Oh, and he's going to be able to take down these Overlords as well. Again, just slowly getting these advantages, and we're working up, we're building up towards this massive push. 1-1 is done, 2-2, more than halfway completed here for GuMiho as well, but he doesn't have to wait for it, to be honest. Looking at the units tab, we have 4 tanks, we got some Banshees, Hellions, soon to be Hellbats, 64 Marines. Even without the tanks, this army is going to be devastating to hold. Baneling speed is on the way. It's going to finish up just in time. What kind of army are we working with, though? We don't have any Banelings yet. 4 Banelings are being morphed in now for Mondo. But GuMiho is pushing on forward. Oh, the Banelings being morphed into his face. They're not going to be finishing here. It's unlikely that they will. The tanks do siege up, and yeah, the Banelings will not complete. We have 14 more on the way. A couple of them are going to find some connections. Very nicely done here by Mondo. but he needs more army right now. The Roach Ravager's trying to buy some time, going to be trying to force the Marines back. Banelings do finish, and here we go. It's going to be rolling on in. We have 4 tanks behind this. Up! Yo, and we don't even need to split. The target firing is too much. The DPS is too high, and GuMiho is breaking into the 4th. Behind this, we've got 4 CCs. We've got a 5th on the way as well. On location for GuMiho. He knows he has the freedom. GG gets called, and GuMiho takes game number 1. Ooh, GG. A really solid game there by GuMiho. Again, a lot of it was because of the 4 Hellion run by. The 4 Hellions getting 14 drones. Like, that's just... The reality is it's just too much. It's just too much here. And coming back from that position is really difficult to do. Like, even put like Dark or Reyna or Cyril in that position after losing that many drones, it's really difficult to pull off. Really difficult. And now we're going to be getting into game number 2. Ooh, game number 2, where hopefully the early game can go a little bit better for the Zerg so we can have a more balanced game overall. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. As game 2 is going to be taking place on Gresvan. Oh, un momento. I can fix this. There we go. GuMiho is playing Terran. Just a little bit of a graphical glitch there, but it's all good. We're now getting ready for our next game. And I hope everyone in the chat has been enjoying themselves. I hope you all have a lovely weekend, as we are, I guess, halfway through Saturday already, at least here in Australia. Do you know that there are people tuning in from around the world, and I hope you guys have a great day, have a great weekend, and what better way to kick off the weekend than with some lovely StarCraft. Oh, and here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the South Korean Terran player, currently leading this series 1-0. It's the Red Terran, it is GuMiho. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Gresvan, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg representing Team Abydos, currently down in this series but not out. It is Mondo. Here we go again. Oh no. I was gonna say there was nothing too fancy out of GuMiho in the first game other than his disregard for the defensive position of the Queens, you know, because of his more adventurous personality and play style that GuMiho has. He just got in, got a lot of damage, and just played a solid game from there. Meanwhile, now we have anything but, because we got not just 2 Raxes, we have a 3rd SCV as well. GuMiho is going for a proxy 3 Rax. Oh boy. This is going to be very committed here, looking to deal some damage, looking to at least kill the natural hatchery. Mondo does keep his 2nd Overlord back at home, so he is going to get eyes on the SCVs as they come over, and he's going to be able to spot those bunkers as they get thrown down. But the question is, Mondo, he needs to recognize the difference between a 2 Rax and a 3 Rax. He has to figure out how committed or how uncommitted this proxy is. I love this. The Overlord is headed directly for that location we have. No! He pulls back! No, he was right next to it. He was touching tips. No, Mondo! He was so close. My God! Barely turns back at the wrong moment, and now his Overlord is not in position to see the SCV. The bunker is thrown down. It's scouted quite late. And this reaction from Mondo is also going to be delayed. The boys are pulled down to the low ground. Again, there's already a lot of progression on this bunker. The boys have to zone away these Marines while we deal with this SCV. We cannot allow this bunker to finish. Already 1 drone's going to be going down. The Lings have appeared, but the bunker finishes. Again, a lot of this is because of how late this got scouted. Now that the bunker is done, the Marine count is getting higher and higher, and this may just be already over. The Queen comes out, but too many drones are going down, and GuMiho, in one quick move, takes game number 2. GG gets called. GuMiho takes the 2-0. He was so close. Feels bad, man. GG. Well played. GuMiho takes the series 2-0. Unfortunately, again, Mondo barely not scouting the proxy, turning back and not scout. It isn't just that he didn't scout the proxy, it's because he sent his overlord out to scout the proxy and didn't see it. That also meant that, one, he missed it, two, he wasn't in position to see the SCV anyway. So because of those two factors, he wasn't able to react in time. When he did, it was a little bit too late to pull the boys. He had pulled the boys, and then he had to react. There was already so much progression of that bunker. It finished. Oh, GG. Well executed there by GuMiho, and Mondo a little bit unlucky when it comes to the overall scouting. Unlucky. GG, well played. And with that, Smurge. That last game is a little bit Smurge. Just a little bit Smurge. You know, I'm sure Mondo wanted to get a more of a series out of it. But with that, GuMiho moves on to the next round.